Hello, Spartan fans, and welcome to another edition of the Spartan Sideline Report here on NSUSpartans.com. I'm Ross Gordon, the play-by-play voice of the Spartans, joined by Assistant Sports Information Director Mike Bello. We'll also be joined shortly by head baseball coach Claudell Clark and sophomore second baseman Killian Strenn. And it was another good weekend for the Spartans. 4 straight weekends where they won weekend series, Mike, as the Spartans took 2 of 3 from the Maryland Eastern Shore University Hawks.
Yeah, and I'm sure they tell you right off the bat that they wish they could have swept them, but to at least be getting these 2 out of 3 wins every weekend is really starting to, that's going to give them momentum. That's the type of the momentum that you need as you get closer to the MEAC tournament in May.
The Spartans now over 500 in conference play at 8-7 now, but again starting to move up towards that second place mark. I want to put some distance in between yourselves and the teams below you, and try to get closer to Delaware State, which the Spartans took 2 of 3 from a couple weekends ago. You just want to make sure that you handle your business from here on out, and I think the Spartans have a schedule set up, especially at home, where they can get some wins and they can play well and get things going here and going into the tournament. Yeah,
like you said, you want to take care of business against UMES and the Coppin State teams that Norfolk State feels like they should be better than. And then obviously that sets up, for Delaware State later in the season. As long as you keep winning your games now, hopefully that sets up to, battle for first place with Delaware State as the season comes to a close.
Martial Miller baseball field will get a lot of attention here over the next couple of weeks as the Spartans will be at home, and then the MEAC Championship Tournament will come up soon, as well as we now welcome in the head coach at Norfolk State University, Claudell Clark. And Coach Clark, first let's talk about this past weekend, as the Spartans took 2 of 3 from the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. Maryland Eastern Shore, we said it before, is a team that can get hot, can get cold, but when they're hot, they stay on. We did a good job of holding them down in the first game of this series.
Chris Horn got us off to a very nice start in terms of holding them down. Now, once they had 2 hits over 9 innings and 1 or 2 walks, so it really gave us a good start. And also the bats got started really well. I know Cameron Day and some of the other guys, did well starting us off with the bat.
You were talking about Cameron Day. He had a great game on Sunday. Does it seem like he's starting to to catch fire and become that player that he was last year when he hit up to 375 or something like that?
Cam's a guy who works extremely hard, so we knew it was only a matter of time before that swing kind of zeroes in and he gets hot. But the nice thing about it has been that each week or weekend, we've had one of our main guys, I call it, or one of our starting lineup guys. They really kind of come on and carry the team. Other guys have followed in behind with 2 or 3 hits, but we've always had, especially these last 3 or 4 weekends, somebody who really has been 4 for 4 or 5 for 5 and really carried the load. So it's good to see him do that this past weekend.
We talked about Cam, who hit the first home run here at home for the Spartans. Talk a little bit about the way his game sets up, especially down the stretch, because he has the ability to hit for power. He can hit for average. He has good speed on the base pass. And when he gets going, it seems like this team has the ability to follow his lead.
That's very true. Cam brings a lot of energy, a lot of positive energy to the baseball team. And, batting in the middle of the lineup, you need your 3, 4, 5 hitters to carry some weight. So, he has certainly done so. Obviously, Zach Markell's backed him up. Chase Carriactu's backed him up. Kyle Voss had a pretty good weekend. So, now the core of our lineup is really getting tough to get through for opposing pitchers.
We also now welcome in sophomore second baseman Killian Strenn. First of all, Killian, we've highlighted it a little bit before we started the program about your journey here to Norfolk State University. Started at the College of the Albemarle, but we talked a little bit about how Norfolk State could have been your first choice. Talk a little bit about what it means for you to have an opportunity to come back to a place like Norfolk State, which wanted you out of high school.
I mean, it's a great opportunity just for the fact that I've always wanted to play Division I baseball, and Coach Clark has been gracious enough to give me the second opportunity, which I never should have had a second. I should have been the first. And I'm just glad that I'm here to support the team and obviously get playing time and contribute as well. And it's been a great opportunity to come and achieve one of my dreams, is playing Division I baseball.
And you're talking about the opportunity to play now. Is the past few weeks you kind of started to really step up. You've gotten a starting spot in the lineup there at second base. You're really starting to hit well. You're hitting close to 400. Obviously, it's not as many at-bats as everyone else on the team, but do you feel like you're really kind of, you didn't play a whole lot at the beginning of the year, but now you feel like you're really starting to really step up your game a little bit?
I've been fighting for a spot at whatever position they feel like playing me at, and I feel that we're all working just as hard as one another, and I've been able to make the most of my opportunities in the opportunities that I've been given. And it's just, yeah, I mean, we all work hard, and I've just been stepping up personally along with helping the team.
Killian, as the season has gone along, the team, it seems like it's gelled a little bit better, especially in conference play over the last couple of weekends. Talk a little about the momentum that the team has picked up since probably that Delaware State weekend, and maybe a little bit before that since the team played the Tides on that Tuesday night.
I mean, it like you said, it all started with the Tides. We came in, it was a big team thing. It was a great experience as a team. Everybody seemed, we were all together, and it's just rolled on from then. Everybody's been, if somebody's not playing well, we're picking each other up. And in practice, we're more vocal, we're playing together as a team in practice, and it's just translating to playing better as a team in the games. And it's just we've been on a roll because we've done it as a team. It's all self-induced.
When a lot of times when high school players come to place like Norfolk State or any other Division I program, they came in, they played all the time at high school. They were kind of like the star of their team, so to speak. And then, they get here, and it's obviously it's a whole different animal. You're battling for playing time. Talk about what that's like as a player. You're a star. You played at Ocean Lakes. All Eastern region. All Tidewater, all that stuff. And talk about what it's like going from high school and the College of Albemarle, where you played a lot, to here, where it's not as easy to get on the field. You really got to fight for your spot. Personally,
I enjoy the competition because that's, as a player, that if you don't want competition, you don't deserve to be on the field. So if you can't compete for what you're going to go get and get yours, excuse me, then there's no point. If there's no competitive fire, which we have here at every position, then you will lose as a team because nobody's out there, well, I'm giving what I'm got, and I don't have to work anymore. So the competition's helped us gel as a team.
It's easy, I guess, to get complacent if there's no competition behind you, if you're not fighting for a spot.
Coach Clark, as we bring you back in, let's talk a little about what Killian brings to the team. Solid glove in the field, has the ability to play shortstop as well, has good range, but also, again, that attitude that he brings to the team has to be infectious.
Well, like I said, it's a guy who, if you're on him about, a bad call or a bad swing or whatever it is, he's a guy who lets stuff bounce off of him, can take the constructive criticism, can take the pat on the back, can pick up another guy. Regardless of what physical things go on the field, he can kind of persevere through. This is a guy with a really high motor and a guy who's really going to play hard from start to finish of a game. So he brings a lot of energy to the game.
And I'm sure as a coach, you like the players like Killian who aren't just a second baseman only. He has the ability to play several positions, and that gives you flexibility, obviously, with your lineup too. As players get hurt or as players hit slumps and they maybe need to take a break, you got a player who can play multiple positions as well.
Well, that does help. And then, piggybacking on the question that Ross had, when you see him come up to bat, you can do multiple things. You can bunt, you can hit and run, you can wait for him to drive in, a hitter, possibly in some parks, even hit a home run. So, it is nice to have guys like that coming up who are multidimensional, both where you can play them and what you can do with them. In the course of the lineup, the other team may be looking for him to hit a double. He lays down a bunt down the third base line. So, it's kind of a dual threat type guy. So, it does make it nice to have him in the lineup.
Coach Clark and Killian, big weekend this weekend as we host Coppin State. We'll start with you, Killian. We've seen Coppin State before up at Coppin State. What are going to be some of the keys to the Spartans getting 2 victories on Saturday and 1 on Sunday against a very game Coppin State team?
The key is not letting them feel like they're in it. If you give them any light, they'll feed on that. So when we hit, and we need to capitalize on our hits and just keep the pressure on them and basically bury them in a sense of runs. Put it to where they feel like they have no opportunity. And if they feel like they have an opportunity, they're always in the game. So we just need to take it out of their hands.
And we've talked before with Coach Clark and other players that the end of the season really sets up well for you guys, that you guys can you're at home for most of the rest of the year. The tournament's right here, so it seems like it's just one long stretch here where it's you don't have to go on the road a lot. How beneficial is that for you guys to be at home these next few series for how successful you were on the road as well against these MEAC teams?
It's a great opportunity because we know our field, and the other teams coming in don't have that advantage. They come in, they have to learn throughout the course of the game of what the field plays like. We know where, if we lay a bunt down the line, we know if it's going to roll fair or foul or not, depending on where it is. So our defense knows what's going on, and as hitters, it's great because we know our park. We know how everything carries and what we have to do with the bat.
Claudell, also, we mentioned that for Killian, but we also mentioned that for you. There's a lot of games at home. Want to get everybody out to support the Spartans, including a big weekend this weekend against Coppin State, then midweek games with Virginia State, also VMI coming in. A lot going on at Marty L. Miller Baseball Field.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to the stretch, and we have a very nice park. We've been blessed with one of the better facilities in the conference, and we just love to have our local fans come in and see us play. And we're very happy about the way we've been playing, so that makes life a lot better. But we're very excited for this finishing stretch.
Got to give a lot of credit to Vincent Sports Turf Management. They do a great job on manicuring the field. It looks nice. It looks really, really nice. I think Chris cut some designs, circles and squares in the field. So you can come out and support the Spartans, as the Spartans have a huge week in this weekend, as they will host Coppin State at the Marty L. Miller Baseball Field. They play a doubleheader at 1 p.m. on Saturday and a single game at noon on Sunday. The Spartans will also be at home next week against Virginia State on Tuesday at 4 p.m. and on Wednesday at 5 p.m. against VMI. We would like to thank the Department of Video and Media Production for their help here today, and we would also like to thank Coach Clark and Killian for stopping by. For Mike Bello, I'm Ross Gordon. Until next time, thank you for watching the Spartan Sideline Report on NSUSpartans.com.